Robert heard some tower traffic. Robert, thanks for your phone call. What did you hear in the tower traffic?
Yeah, well, I was flying actually a small Cessna up over the bay, and I normally tune into the tower, and I've listened to the tower for about 10 or 15 minutes prior to the crash, and it was normal business as usual. Airplanes are being cleared for the visual approach into San Francisco. No sense of urgency, no emergency. And then I heard all of a sudden, I heard the captain from the Asiana flight calling for help. And the tower immediately said, emergency vehicles are rolling. Both runways are closed. Airport is closed. And then they started, another tower controller got on and started telling airplanes to go around.
Wow. So we're talking to Robert, who's a small plane pilot who was in the air when the Asiana flight called to the tower asking for help. Robert, can you tell me what were flight conditions like? Was there a lot of chop? Was there a lot of turbulence today around the airport? Was it clear? What were conditions like?
It wasn't any more unusual than normal, a little choppy. I've flown these Asiana flights from Seoul several times. In fact, over the last 2 years, I've been back and forth to Seoul about 12 times. And it's about a 10-hour flight coming back from Seoul to San Francisco. And they have a backup crew, so I don't think it was anything to do with the crew being tired.
So you're saying that this is a 10-hour flight and that usually there is a backup crew. From your experience, there's a backup crew on those planes?
Oh, there's always a backup crew on these long-haul flights from Asia.
Yeah, was there anything else that stood out to you about the traffic that you heard? As we're talking to Robert, who's a small plane pilot who heard traffic from the tower to this Asiana Boeing 777 flight 214 out of Seoul that crash landed today at SFO. Was there anything else that stood out to you? Did you hear the pilot's voice at all, and what was he saying?
Yeah, what sounded unusual was it sounded like a timid call from the captain. Requesting assistance and requesting help. Before this thing happened, I was listening to the radio, and it was like, it was very calm. Traffic being directed into the airport as usual. No emergency call from any aircraft until the crash, and then immediately the tower stepped in and closed down the airport.
Yeah. Hey, Robert, real quick, I want to ask you, because we've been hearing from other pilots today that the landing service equipment is out at SFO. Have you flown into that airport, and is it a difficult airport to fly into as a pilot?
Well, today it's all visual approach. Everybody's cleared for the visual. So some people mentioned that there was no ILS in place. You don't need an ILS. It's a backup, but everybody else is flying in visual. The airplanes, they have radar altimeters and all kinds of backup systems. It could have been that the pilot got behind the airplane and just lost control because of
Hey, Robert, I got to break in on you. I appreciate all your information.